All right, everybody, welcome back to game number 2 that we have going today. Valparaiso versus Evansville, Missouri Valley Conference. This was actually the week 1 matchup, got rescheduled here, and we do have a substitute for Valpo. We're going to see Unlined Code coming in, no more CQ9, and small update, Evansville in their regularly scheduled game did end up taking down Missouri State 3-2. Not sure if that was some kind of reverse sweep or something. All of the games looked close. I don't even know if I saw a game over 2 goals. So they're coming off of a bit of a high here. Valpo, obviously, for most of you, probably here at 6. Lost 3-0 in a few close ones to Indiana State. One of those where they did have the lead. But putting in their sub here, Online Cone for this one. I think probably about similar experience level as CQ9, so wouldn't expect to see too much of a change in what's happening. Street Fair, though, gonna put in the first one here, get Valpo out to an early lead. As we see Online Cone kind of flopping around there, but Street Fair able to put it in. Elijah for Evansville not able to figure that out. Yeah, from what I thought, because I don't know if Illinois State's actually even competing with a team in any capacity, and not even a team, the same team as last year that won. I was kind of under the assumption that Missouri State was going to win that. Unlined Cone going up for that one, not able to reach it, and a bit of a miss there for Elijah. So Valpo get a little time to get back here. Was that R Natty? Prodigy. R Natty not able to find anything. This one should go off the backboard. Wow, that got really close. R Natty, is that R Natty? Then it's a V. It's not two Y's. That's interesting. Street Fair, though, with a bit of a clear into the corner. Ball will bounce there. Evansville actually being coached by Coach Dart, who previously at Indiana University. If you're in the College Rocket League at all, you've probably seen the rankings that come out of Colleague. That is Coach Dart over at Evansville. His efforts, and Prodigy will be able to sneak that one in past Unlined Cone. Just not able to get up to that one, and Prodigy with the nice little angle there. Good rotation of the car. Ties this game up. 3 minutes remaining in game number 1. Best of 5. Here, Jank gonna put it into the corner for Street Fair. I'd love to see kickoff strategies out of Valpo as they're looking to kind of find their identity. Keep mixing it up, keep the other teams on their toes. Prodigy, excuse me, not able to do much there. Street Fair gonna have full boost and the ball. Gonna look to knock it down to Jank. Not gonna be able to find the connection. Jank going back for a boost. Natty has the ball with 50, not able to do much, but Unlined Cone able to force a bit of a bad touch there and able to find it to Jank. It might have just been a little too close. Street Fair should be first this one. Actually has to look out, getting chased, possibly demoed. Prodigy gonna knock that away from his own teammate. Elijah, though, sends it to the backboard. No threat at the moment. Close demo, though, for Elijah. All of Evansville retreating. That one almost on target. The double almost finds its way in as well, and it's Unlined Cone, the only defender at the moment, makes the move, not able to get there in time, and Elijah will put it in off of the pass for Prodigy, off the ceiling. Street Fair not able to get there. A touch. Jank rotating back, left Unlined Cone alone to try and defend the pass and shot. Not able to do so. 2-1, 2 minutes remaining though, so plenty of time for Valpo to come back in this one. Good demo though out of Prodigy here off the start. Elijah not going to be able to do much with it. 2 players up for Evansville, and neither are going to touch it. The net's wide open. Unlined Cone. Oh no, skies it. Jank's been demoed. Street Fair though should be able to collect for a moment. They will go on to the side, but Jank spawns. That was a beautiful opportunity there for Valpo, and then a bit of a dangerous situation. Luckily, they're able to figure that one out. Jank gonna get the 50 there. Street Fair should be first on to this. Uses a lot of boost though. Jank is on 0. Just looking to kind of tap it down. That's a bit of a pass out of Evansville. R Natty kind of sends it central. Not sure if Prodigy would have been able to handle that better. Probably with a little bit of boost, bring it into that corner. But Street Fair to be able to send it to the left side and put it in and tie this game back up. 1:30 remaining in game number 1 here. Pretty back and forth. Online cone, good kickoff. Street Fair with the beat and gonna get the boost. Should be Arnatti here. I don't know if anyone's gonna be back. They're not. Jake's just gonna be able to put that in, and this game has completely flipped upside down. Valpo, 2 quick goals back to back, and it will be a 1-goal lead with 1:22 remaining. That was interesting. Great kickoff out of Online Cone. I mean, something, I don't know if we really even saw CQ9 have any kickoffs in the last game. That's not something I really recall. Online Cone gonna get bumped there. Street Fair gonna take the ball from him, so he doesn't need to worry. I think Jank and Street Fair just need to be careful that they don't overextend at this point. We saw it in game 2 of Indiana State. They had a lead, and then Jank did a little overextension after Street Fair commit, and then they were able to go down the field in about 2-3 seconds, score it, put them into overtime. In that one, Street Fair getting harassed a little bit. Jank kind of waiting, not able to find anything off that. Online Cone, though, should be able to deal with that. And Street Fair with a big clear here, wasting time. 40 seconds remaining in game number 1. Arnatti collects on the backboard. Bad touch, it's going to float down. Elijah clears it with all the boost he has. Prodigy up to the air, full boost, going to the corner. It's going to fall short, though. Jank's going to land on that. Jank should be able to send this one deep. Arnatti a little too close. Will half flip and collect. Online Cone with a monster dunk. This is where Valpo needs to be careful that they don't overcommit. Online Cone not going to be able to put it on target, and Street Fair demotes. Jank is the lone defender at the moment. Street Fair will spawn behind, and that's a good pass. Jank's not able to find anything, and Prodigy here puts it high. Street Fair able to clear it out. Jank's in the corner, will get a 50. It's still in Valpo's half. Prodigy, though, does not have much boost to work with, and it's on 1 second. Ball is still in the air. Elijah pops it up, and that one will fall, and Valpo will actually take game number 1 in this series, where we just saw, where I just told you, I guess you didn't see, Missouri State fell to Evansville, and we were expecting Missouri State to kind of be the catalyst and the head honcho that would run the Missouri Valley Conference this year, but huge work out of Valpo there to keep that one going. And good performance in game 1 out of Online Cone, but I mean, Street Fair, 7 shots compared to 6 total for Evansville. That'll do it for you, you know? Like we saw, that was kind of our huge key when we were on ESPN, was when Valpo takes more shots than the other team, they win those games. And that appears to be true, even without Master Seb and with a slightly new roster, you know, 1/3 new roster here. Even basically a new roster again, because Online Cone's filling in, no more CQ9. Good demo out of Street Fair. Jank up really early. That ball 50, not exactly in their favor. Street Fair not able to get a touch, but Online Cone with a great clear out, and just miscommunication. That's gonna be a big issue here without Master Seb and without, you know, they typically kind of have that figured out in Rocket League. You know who wants that ball, who's gonna take it, and Online Cone was in a great position. That was an amazing touch out of Street Fair to even make that into an opportunity. Elijah gets it around Online Cone, but Jank will collect. Gonna have to throw it to Prodigy. That one will be wide. Not able to find it, but nothing dangerous yet. Arnatti not able to put a shot on target. Elijah accidentally hitting it backwards. Will probably work in Evansville's favor a little bit. Allow them to regain slightly. Online Cone will be first to this. Pops into the wall. Prodigy, though, will bring it back onto offense, and that's a good touchdown. Maybe a little too good. His teammates didn't really expect the ball to be able to get there. Jank with the tap over. It's just floating central, and that's going to be an opportunity. Street Fair with a 50 on the goal line, but Prodigy just able to put it through him, going backwards. Yeah, I mean, just unfortunately the momentum carried Prodigy into the net there, and Evansville will take the lead with 4 minutes remaining here in game number 2. Great kickoff out of Online Cone right now. I mean, it keeps feeding him these kickoffs. Prodigy looking for a reset, not going to be able to find it. Elijah doesn't choose to go for that. Go look for a pass here. Jank with some great defense. Arnatti's up. Will slam it hard off the backboard. This will be a counter attack for Valpo, maybe. Actually, kind of gets stalled out, and they're pushed back into defense. This is what we saw in the games with Indiana State. That when they're not able to get boosted, they can't get a deep clear. It crumbles very fast. It's very difficult for them. Street Fair, they're going for the backflip. Unfortunately, not able to make contact. Left Online Cone sitting in the net, just praying on where that shot would go. It could have been placed anywhere. Online Cone with the kickoff again. Good 50. Jank will lose the second one to Arnatti. And Street Fair not able to grab that boost. Going to be off the ceiling. See, this is not what Valpo needs to be doing right now. Because now you're leaving your brand new sub alone on defense. He will make the touch and delay for a moment, but you're leaving him in a very rough situation. He spawns in on top of Street Fair, which is a little rough. This 50 will pop straight up. Jank should be first to this. Not going to be able to put it on target. Arnatti will skim it to the backboard, and Street Fair not able to get that mid boost. That's going to be a little rough here. There's going to be a zinger of a shot into the net. Elijah and Valpo just way too much of an overcommit on offense there. It's not going to work out. Looking for each other with a passing play in the air. I like the confidence, but I don't think that's the game plan you could use to win these games right now. 3 minutes remaining, though, and we've seen a comeback in less time for them. That's really close to going in. Jank not able to get that one. Once you leave the ground, you're kind of in no man's land, and that one will go in. Unfortunately, that somehow just, it's a blue trail, which means Valpo was the last team to touch it, and it's flying into their backboard. The only good thing about that for Valpo really is going to be that it took no time off the clock, so you pretty much still got the same amount of time to work with for Valpo, but Evansville is just going to be on offense again. That's a weak clear out of Street Fair. Prodigy's just going to be able to knock this down. You just need to see deep clears from the Valpo side. Unline Cone not going to be able to close the distance. That's going to hit the bar and fall into Street Fair, who luckily does not end up going there. Going to have a good hit, send this into the Evansville corner, but they're going to be able to collect it with no problem. There's not much pressure at the moment out of Valpo. That one's a bit of an awkward touch. Probably just going to have to use all of their boosts to send that into the corner. Street Fair's there. Not going to do much with it. I'd like to see the collection of that corner boost. We do see that, and Jank with a good 50. Going to be a race between Jank and Arnatti. We'll find it. Street Fair going to be able to put it in, and oh, Arnatti just falling out of the air, falls onto that ball. That is unfortunate for Valpo, but Jank with the speed. Oh, Elijah just falling off the backboard as well onto that one. Good looks for Valpo, but just not able to finish it, put it in. And this is a big flick from Evansville. Gonna fire Valpo to retreat, and there's a big bump. I think Street Fair, yeah, gonna make the touch there. The ball wasn't on its way in initially, but it will go in off of that touch off of Elijah, who had already flipped. It's very hard to have the know-how, or not the know-how, but the decision making in that split second to not touch that ball because it's right in front of your net. But probably don't see that Elijah's already mid-flip there and can't move and make an attempt on the ball. You're just trying to hit it and get that ball to safety. Good save by Jank, but Prodigy's going to catch it out of the air. We'll have a flip reset, very weak, but Valpo, without putting that in, it looked like a little bit of miscommunication again on who was going for that. There are just all three kind of struggling in the net with little boost. Jank does have full at the moment, but this ball is just bouncing in Valpo's half. The 50 goes in Evansville's favor again, and so does that one. Unline Cone will clear it out. Jank, oh, maybe a flip or got called off by Street Fair. I'm not sure, but that one's going to find its way in eventually. Yeah, that'll be a 6-goal lead here in game number 2. Valpo just, the communication is not there, and the panic is at the moment. Definitely going to need to see their coach kind of calm them down after this game. I think they're a little overzealous at the moment. We kind of saw it at the beginning of this one. They kind of went away from the game they were playing in game number 1, and it's starting to hurt them. That's going to be a shot opportunity, and that one will just fall in. Valpo's just kind of tossing passes to Evansville at the moment, unfortunately. That one, though, got a 50 out very nicely for Arnatti. Not much Street Fair could have done. And, it says Jake made a touch there somehow when the ball was behind him. Not sure how that's possible. But this one's pretty much over. You're looking for game 2, or game 3, I mean. Probably talking strategy. Yeah, Valpo just on the same page, even here. Gonna just need some better communication. I think Jank up so early off of that, but no one's gonna be able to follow it. Elijah will miss, which left the net wide open, and it's a miss out of Unline Cone as well. 40 seconds remaining here. Evansville will tie the series up. I mean, great play out of Valpo when they're on offense here. I mean, to be honest, there's a couple goals that probably should have went in for Valpo. I don't think enough to have cut the 7-goal lead down. tie this up or get it into overtime or even win. But I think a few of them, Evansville probably got a little lucky on. Just were falling out of the air, falling off the backboard. That one ping-ponged around somehow and didn't find its way in. So I don't think Valpo should be too ashamed of this, especially if there's subbing someone in, trying to look for a double reset off the backboard, not going to really come that close. And that will tie our series up at 1-1 going into game number 3. Valpo got outshot. I said it, going into this one is when Valpo does more shooting than the other team, that's when they win. Unfortunately, not a single time out of their 5 shots they registered did one find the back of the net. But then it was 13 shots on the side of Evansville. So when the game has to be played in Valparaiso's half, they kind of struggle a little bit. Definitely would love to see them take this extra 30 seconds they've got here, talk it through, kind of discuss. Hopefully the coach identifies that maybe they got a little overzealous, a little too aggressive. Got to kind of reel it back a little bit. No one was playing much defense in that one. Jank had 3 saves, but there was still 7 goals that found the back of the net. So definitely got to make some kind of adjustment here. But we are all tied up, so it is not over. We have seen Valpo can win. They came out and won game 1. They set the tone early here. I just want to see a difference in play style. And if you're Evansville, you're hoping for the exact same play style that they were able to exploit. Street Fair goes low, goes with the pinch, has a great dunk here. Jank's going to be up. This is going to be Street Fair needs to get back. It's going to be high. Good touch out of unlined cone to keep this on the corner. I would have loved to see him go for that boost. It looked like he had the idea kind of formed, but backed off last second, which is fine. He had plenty, but denying Evansville boost is kind of the whole point of that, right? Street Fair jumping for that, not going to be able to get there. Unlined cone with a miss, which means there's no one on Valpo's side. It's a good thing Elijah touched that, because that would have been deep clear from Prodigy onto Valpo's net. Gonna look to dribble this one out. We'll have a 50 with unlined cone and another one. Not gonna be able to get it off the wall here. Want to see unlined cone dive for this. Good. The double jump is gonna do enough there. Good touch though out of Evansville. Put this in the Valpo half. Jank should be first to this one. Should be able to get it again off the wall. Good clear. We've seen the long clears. They work really well. The double out of Prodigy not going to be there. Street Fair able to knock it up at midfield and will be first to this ball. Chooses to go down though. Double commit out of Valpo, and this one's flying into their corner. This is where it's going to start to get dangerous. They need to be careful that they do not start double committing. They don't overcommit. Good save by unlined cone. This actually is going to be an offensive opportunity for Street Fair. It will go wide. Our Natty was in the net. I don't think there was much of a shot opportunity there. A little bit of a collision by Valpo, which is not good. Jank's going to get Goomba stopped, and that will allow the net to be open for Valpo. That is unfortunate that the player from Evansville, I think Arnatti, landed on top of Jank and was not able to get up there and get the easy save that you had. 1 goal lead here for Evansville, 3:30 remaining. That ball is shot like a rocket into the corner. Jank will collect, but there will be a powerful shot out of Elijah onto the net. And Valpo just looking to clear it out. They don't have much boost on Street Fair, but the 2 other players have 100, which is plenty to work with here. And that ball, unfortunately, is going to pinch off into Valpo's corner. Street Fair going to have to make a save. We'll get the clear out. Prodigy, though, is just jumping up and knocking it down. Valpo needs to get this ball a little higher or hit a little harder. Evansville still has the time to react and jump up and knock these down at the midfield. There's a double commit, though, so Valpo's on offense. Arnatti will collect both boosts, so not able to sustain this for Valpo, but Street Fair with a good touch there and still up to it. Not able to find the 50. Unlined cone should be able to get a good pop here. Elijah will be able to clear this, though. No one there for Valpo at the moment. Jank just drove into the corner. I must not have seen the shooter there, Prodigy, because this should have been easily savable, or the momentum was already carried. And that'll be 2-0 here in game number 3. 2 minutes and 38 seconds remaining. Still over half the game. Plenty of time. That ball will go to Elijah in the corner. Street Fair not able to do much with it. Unlined cone will get beat. It'll be a passing play out of Evansville. That'll be off the bar, and no one from Valpo jumping up. I believe Jake had full boost there. Street Fair was kind of lacking, looking to go, didn't look to go off the in and out there. And just kind of sitting ducks in the net, not being proactive. There's another kickoff out of Valpo, and it will go in Valpo's favor, but Prodigy is the only one up and going upfield after getting that corner boost. No one on Valpo's side is. There's a big clear out of Jank. This is what helped win them those games. The misses start to come in once you throw the ball high, you get it out going fast, but unline cones in a 1v1 here. Not going to actually take the shot. It's Prodigy. No flick. Street Fair not able to collect that boost, which is going to be rough. Jank not able to get that ball to pop up. Street Fair's going to have to jump early for this and get a 50. We'll be able to do so. Gonna miss on that opportunity, which leaves unlike cone to try to race to the ball. Jank's gonna have to make the save. Should be able to catch. Oh, falls into the backboard and into the bar. That's a little unfortunate. Not gonna be able to put it in, but they will there. Valpo just kind of sitting ducks again in the net. And the lead will extend to 4. Minute 43 remaining in this one. Good kickoff there. Street Fair cheat up this time. Doesn't go boost. Doesn't make contact with the ball, so it's going to be a little rough. Jank, though, up super early. We'll put it central. Street Fair gets beat, though, and that one's just going to fall in. The attempt was there, but it was very, very choreographed. You knew Jank did not have much boost at that point. Wasn't really a threat offensively himself, so if he was going to look central, that would be the only opportunity they had. And then Street Fair not able to get ball, not able to get either boost here again off the kickoff. Going to need to see some kickoff work out of Valpo here going forward in the next game and then the other series they have this year, because they're winning a lot of the kickoffs. A lot of them look great, but they're just not able to continue or capitalize. No one's following the ball. No one's getting boost on the right side. It's very interesting, very uncharacteristic, but growing pains with a new teammate. 1 minute remaining here. A 5-goal lead for Evansville. It'll take quite a comeback here from Valpo to end up bringing this game back. And I mean, Prodigy's able to just walk that ball the entire length of the field and all the way across Valpo's net. So there's definitely just some kind of disconnect here at the moment. I'm not sure if the mentality is gone after the 7-goal game in game number 2. And that's going to be a shot. It will go off the bar. The rebound opportunity will fall in from Arnatti. That will make it 6-0 with 30 seconds remaining in game number 3. Tied up 1-1 at the moment, but it surely looks like Evansville is going to kind of finish this one out. Yeah, Street Fair with the 50 on the kickoff, but no one's cheating up on that. Especially 6-0, 30 seconds remaining. There's no reason that no one from Valpo is up on the ball off the potential 50 or to chase it as it pinches out. Street Fair's off the backboard will get the save, just kind of running the clock out here with 10 seconds. Evansville will take game number 3. We'll find one more. I think that was an own goal by Valpo, unfortunately. We'll skip that and hopefully get through it. So we got to do the kickoff again. But game number 3 will go to Evansville. Same scoreline as game number 2. Valpo has signs, and it's there. It's not connecting all of the pieces at once. They're like connecting one area, and then the next game, they let that area kind of go away, and they work on what was bad, and then it kind of seems like a process. You know, they're only able to do kind of one area of the game at a time right now, and that's not going to work against these teams. They need to kind of be able to lock in and have all of the areas and all of the cylinders firing, you know, for the machine to move how it should. They don't have that at the moment, but series isn't over. It's 2-1 Evansville's lead. So already better progress than against Indiana State, being able to take that first game. Just would love to see the mentality out of Valpo and continue going, because they've seen that they can win. It took day one with substitutes and a new roster to prove to themselves that it is possible. They just have to do it. Unline Cone will have the kickoff here against R Natty. I want to see one of Street Fair or Jank follow this ball. And we see Street Fair go up. There's a fake out of Evansville, so they called a play, and it's actually not going to work in their favor. But Jank's soft touch is going to provide Evansville with no penalty, which is unfortunate because that was an opportunity. Valpo should have been on offense. They should have been throwing that one in. Elijah going to miss off the crossbar here, and Jank will get demoed. Trying to take that one to the wall or towards the net. Unline Cone, though, going to have the shot and will put it in. Evansville getting a little too fancy at the beginning of this game. And they'll pay for it. They'll go down 1-0 early like they did in the game number 1. Unline Cone able to get their first goal of the series, or of their collegiate Rocket League career, actually, here. And see an aggressive cheat up out of Evansville. Valpo's just not match it for some reason. Just not being able to trust in each other at the moment, it seems. Street Fair should be on this. Yeah, we'll get the clear out into the corner. We'll opt to go back and get the mid boost and allow Prodigy a lot of time with this ball. Not able to put it central, but that pinch, unfortunately, goes straight to the ceiling, and Valpo's not able to clear it out. A reset there out of R Natty, not going to be able to do much with it. Street Fair, though, going to get removed out of the play. That will tie this game up 1-1 in game number 4. Evansville is getting a lot of time with the ball and a lot of time to kind of set up what they want. Good 50s out of Unline Cone back to back there. And a good central attempt. Street Fair gonna steal the boost. Needs to put this center for Jank. Jank's just gonna have to go for this. Hope no one makes contact. 2 go from Evansville. It's a weak clear, but Valpo just took so long for Street Fair to get back to that ball. That one will go high. Wow. That is just, I mean, it's just been one of those series, I guess. That was a miss, and unfortunately for Valpo, that is where R Natty landed, and it went off the side of his car and still somehow went into the back of the net. I mean, that's rough. And it's you know, a lot of the time when it's a missed shot and you can tell it's a missed shot, you don't jump because you're trying to play the bounce afterwards, or where it will end up falling, or when it's shooting off. But it's very unfortunate the ball just fell straight onto R Natty mid-flip. Prodigy going to be up early for this. Won't get a pinch in a good direction, but Valpo's just taking too long. They're waiting, and they're not getting to the ball first, and Evansville is just having their way with the ball because no one on Valpo is challenging. Like, there's no one here to cut this distance down. Jank is there, but it's late, and the ball will fly off into Valpo's half because no one's there to follow up. Unline Cone closing the distance, not able to get a touch. Jank will also get demoed. We'll find a 50 off of the corner, but R Natty's just going to clear that out. Prodigy going to go wide. I don't think has the double angle. Yeah, a little too much respect there from Jank. We definitely had a different angle than he did in the net, but it was pretty easy for us to see that he had no opportunity really there to put that one on target. No one else is going to be there for Valpo, so it's just a pass out into the center, and they will put it in the back of the net. 3-1, 2 minutes and 45 seconds remaining. And Valpo is going to have to cut this lead down by 2. This is also something I don't think we've seen in this game, is any demos out of Valpo, really. We've seen them get demoed on repeats, which has made it pretty rough for them. A musty attempt flick there, but Street Fair just kind of slowly following along and will get demoed again. 20 boost for Prodigy here. It's not going to really be that dangerous. Valpo just needs to be aware of the pass. Good clear out of Jank. Street Fair is going up. Gotta trust that R Natty does not touch that ball. That's a difficult read coming across the map at this level of play. Good 50 by Jank. Good look central, but not able to get another 50 there, and that allows deep clear from Evansville. We're in a lot of time off the clock here. That 50 goes in Evansville's favor. Prodigy up way too early to kind of read that one, I think. Make a touch. But Evansville's just kind of diving at this. It's still just being allowed to have the ball at the midway point. They're jumping for everything because Valpo's not punished it. Double commit out of Street Fair and Jank off the backboard. Jank has minimal boost. Unlike Cone has 81, but it's just not making a play on the ball. It needs to go for it. That'll Clear off towards Evansville's net. Not on target, though. Jank, though, going to be up for this. Will miss, unfortunately. Street Fair is going to be beat to that. Online Cone is the only player on defense. Will make the touch needed. Jank should be on the backside here with no boost. That opportunity is going to go off. And Jank just kind of left in no man's land there. Front post as the ball skims off, and there's going to be a Valpo or a Evansville player to put that in the back of the net. 4-1 with 1:14. This game's definitely not over. Good kickoff out of Jank, but it's going to just roll the Prodigy. Street Fair up very early. Got to see someone from Valpo right here is when someone should already be on that ball. It shouldn't take that long for the ball to be sent the other direction. It should be coming as Evansville treated. But a little bit of a disconnect there, maybe on who's supposed to be going for that, or what position should I be going for the ball with some of the new players, unfortunately. Jank with a good touch there, not able to find it off the ceiling. Street Fair will keep it on offense. Gonna get beat to that one, though. Online Cone will have a 50. It's kind of floating up. Prodigy has no boost, but will have full, and Jank kind of just delivers that one to him. Off the backboard, double commit out of Evansville. Good save by Jank, 30 seconds remaining. Online Cone with a 50. It's going in favor of Valpo, and that's really unfortunate that no one's demoed there, and it just kind of spins Jank out. 15 seconds remaining here in this one. If Evansville wins this, they will take the series 3-1. 2-1 for Valpo's in the net. Online Cone looking to clear it out. Street Fair with a big clear here. Elijah will miss. That unfortunately pitches more backwards than it does central, and that will do it here in game number 4 for Valpo versus Evansville. And that will do it for us here in the booth. Unfortunately, Valpo just not able to put it together. There were definitely signs, but going to be a lot of work to do. A lot of communication issues, I think, from a spectator standpoint. Obviously, I wasn't in there listening, but it definitely, I think a lot of it, doesn't even boil down to the skill level of these Overwatch players that are being so gracious and subbing in. I think a lot of it had to do with the communication across the board between everybody. And that's just something that comes with repetition and playing with each other, because they've never played together really before this. So it's all kind of last minute. But thank you all for joining us, Master Seb, everyone else who came in. We've already seen they can win the games as long as they play their own game and are able to get that ball cleared, because once they're relying on defense and reactions, it gets a little rough. But that'll be it for us here in the booth. We actually won't be back tomorrow. Our MVC Smash matchup for the week got rescheduled. We should be back on Thursday, though, with some MVC Valorant at 6 p.m. I think it's against Bradley, but I'm not too sure. Follow our socials at Valpo Esports on everything for that information. But thank you all for joining us. It's been Gio, and I'm logging off.